Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy. In the first video, we were introduced to the Star Droids, and we beat Mercury and Neptune. And now it's time to take on Mars and Venus. We're gonna start with Mars first. Don't worry about these little spinny things. They don't hurt you. They're just part of the floor and they're just merely decoration. Anyway, let's just drop down here. Take out this little jumping missile pod. And that thing that I just stepped on and started flashing, that is a mine. It flashes for a while before it eventually explodes. The rocket enemy, you can take it down. You definitely don't want to pass by it because it will attack. Mega Arm, fully charged, will usually do it, and when it dies, it does explode. That thing right there is a little spiky turtle thing that will not only fire missiles at you, but will also spin around, all invulnerable, and try to hit you. When his head is out and is shooting out missiles, that's when you can shoot it. Alright, another missile pod. And these guys, every 2 jumps, they throw what looks like a banana. You don't want to get hit by the banana. And those things will send you into the spikes if you're not careful. I mean, you can ride them as platforms, but I wouldn't exactly recommend doing it. There's no need to do it here. And if I had the Magna hand, I could get all that, but I don't have any reason to do so. And I might as well show off Tango. Just equip Tango in the pause menu. Charge up with B. And as long as Tango is bouncing around, you'll be using weapon energy. Tango will bounce around and take enemies out for you. I also forgot to mention how to replace weapons. By pausing, you can switch between weapons. Highlight the one you want to use with the control pad or D-pad, depending on what you want to call it. Press start when you have the weapon you want flashing, and you'll be able to use it and also refill if you need to. Let's go ahead and get those things and then be on our merry way here. And apparently that thing kind of wants to jump when I jump and move when I want to move. And I want to get these things out of the way. Makes jumping around here a little easier. And you kind of want to use its movements against it. Like, it starts moving and jumping when you get close enough to it. And I want to be really careful there because I did not want to get sent upwards into the spikes. Now this thing will shoot out balls. You can easily take the balls out with the fully charged Mega Arm. 3 fully charged Mega Arms will take this thing out entirely. As long as you're jumping from platform to platform, you should be able to reach it and continue on. Another case where I wish I had the magnet hand. Well, I missed out there. And once you grab those things, you want to move to the right. So that way the spikes don't hurt you. There's also another pickup, but you'll need the magnet hand for that as well. Want to be very careful here because that first one, that one to the left there, is a lot faster. When this thing spins, it spits out this little ball that bounces kind of low and can pretty much hurt you. Also, I am going to use this robot monkey's movement patterns against it. Remember, once you get close enough, it does jump around. And sometimes those balls do a low bounce, and sometimes they do a high bounce. I need to check to see how many P chips I have once I'm done here. That would be a good thing to know. And there was a mine there. Alright. Left. Right. Slide again. Get the E-Tank. Now you know the distance for that. Don't you ever forget it. And that was the attack that the rocket had. Once it's on screen, it will shoot up, and then it'll parachute down at you. And if you're not ready for it, it can be very annoying. Also, let's get the health here. And, you know, not walk on mines and actually jump over them in case we do come into contact with them, because they're really annoying. And I don't like them. Also, these balls do bounce off whatever they touch. So you never know when, well, unless you're paying attention, you're not really going to know when the balls are going to shoot out and where they're going to go. Alright, throw your thing. The best part about the Mega Arm is that its ability to boomerang back lets it hit enemies from behind as it returns to you. Which is a pretty cool thing. I do like the fact that you can do that. Also, let's get a big P-chip. And shoot that down before we face Mars. What do I need? Salt water. Right. Do I have anything for... Well, I have one of those things, so that's kind of cool. Yeah. Let's use salt water here. And let's be careful. Now, this Mars will shoot missiles, and you'll need to pretty much duck under them. They do more damage than these shots, though. Really? Ugh. If I knew that the tackle was going to do that much damage, I would have used my E-Tank, but now I don't have as much weapon energy with the salt water, which is the weakness for Mars, so I'm going to have to be very careful. Thankfully... Ow. Yeah, let's not have a repeat of that, please. And wait for you to stop hiding. Hit you with this. There we go. In case you can't hit Mars with the big bubble, make sure at least one of the little bubbles can hit him. That still does as much damage. So you have the photon missile, which you do have to slide under. There are the bullets, which are pretty fast and kind of hard to jump over, but don't do as much damage as the photon missile. And you have the little homing missile. He can also rush from one side of the screen to the other, and he can leave mines. But they don't have those big explosions like the ones that we've been seeing throughout the stage. So there is that. And for beating Mars, we do get the same photon missile that he used. It does have a little bit of a pause before it shoots forward, and when it shoots forward, it does so rather fast. It's quite nice. Anyway, there's a password on the screen. I'm going to leave it sitting here for a little while longer. Alright. Let's do this. Actually, before we do the other stage... Okay. 104. And I had to clear my nose right there for a minute. Sorry about that. Oh, Mega Man. Did you bring back the P-chips? Yes, I did, and I have enough for the magnet hand, which I do want to get. I do want to get the clobber hand next. So, once we buy this, we can charge up the Mega Arm, shoot it at items, and then it'll bring the items back to us on the way back, assuming it grabs the items on the way back in the first place. This is basically what the magnet hand does. And you need 90 P-chips to buy it, and I'm gonna buy it. I might as well. And now that we're done in Dr. Light's lab, we're going to face Venus. By the way, speaking of weaknesses, we do get to use the Photon Missile MA against Venus. But you can also use, well, Photon Missile is the only thing we use against Venus, obviously. But for Mars, we could have used Electric Shock should we have it. But we don't get it until the second half of the Star Droids, so we don't really need to worry about that. But I might as well put that information there for inquiring minds. Anyway, Venus stage, go. And this stage is going to be a little interesting. First of all, some of the bubbles on the ceiling are brighter than others. Those are the ones that will drop down and try to leap at you. Thankfully, a fully charged arm cannon shot, a fully charged mega arm, will all but destroy it. And these things, unlike the ones in Mars stage, they don't blow up, which is kind of a good thing. They don't have that big explosion that really hurts you. And we need to go up here and up this ladder. The crabs shoot out bubbles, which will encase you, and you'll need to shoot them down with your arm cannon in case you get trapped in one. Like so, because sometimes the bubbles will sometimes throw you into the pits or into spikes, and that can be bad. Also, watch the ceiling at times for little droplets, because droplets lead to waterfalls, and the waterfalls don't hurt you, but they do push you downward. And you want to be very careful about that. Anyway, there's a waterfall here, and there's an enemy to the right. So once we wait for that waterfall to get finished, we can go on our way, deal with another waterfall, and deal with this thing. Alright. Now these things, they split into two, then split into two again. Once they're at their smallest, you can take them down with one shot. You don't need to charge up the Mega Arm a third time unless you want to go through multiples of them, in which case I recommend it. The owls are kind of like those fan enemies from Mega Man 2's Airman stage. They will blow you back. I think they blow you back, and then they kind of push you forward. Yeah, they suck you forward with the fans, and then they blow you back with the wings. Also, the magnet hand, really useful for getting the energy tank fragments up there. Because I don't feel like sliding to get those. Sorry. And I'm going to grab this and wait over here near the ladder. And then once the waterfall comes down, get back over there before stuff happens. And I'm going to wait again because I really wanted to get those P-chips so that I don't have to deal with the waterfall again. Alright. Here's Eddie Flip-Top. What's he going to give us? Well, that would have been useful if I had health to, well, replenish, but sadly I did not. That crab will put you in a rather precarious spot where the bubble will throw you in the spikes, so be ready to shoot the bubble down once you're in it. And then we drop down to the left here, and this is a rather curious place. So, there's a trick to this. You don't bounce on this all the time. When you press the jump button, you'll jump super high. When you're on the ground, you'll stay on the ground until you jump. In this case, once you jump... Huh. Well, apparently if you're on a big bubble, you'll go super high, but if you're on a small bubble, you don't. There's kind of a method to the madness there. Small bubble, big bubble. I like how this is coded. It's a little puzzling, but once you get it, you get it. So yeah, unless you're ready to jump, don't jump. Otherwise, bad things will happen. Also, now that I have the magnet hand, I have a lot more range on this thing. Amazingly. And I can wait out right over here. No big deal. I'm gonna use the magnet hand to get all that stuff. Also, slide across the gaps, or you won't make it. Okay. Be close to the spikes, but not too close. And be ready to slide over there, underneath those spikes. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to slide under those spikes. I'd recommend doing it. Thankfully, holding down and pressing A won't make you accidentally jump on these floors, which is a good thing. Also, watch where the waterfalls do their thing. They don't hurt you, but they can push you down, and they can kind of hide parts of the floor, too, and make it look like there's pits where there's not. It can be a little scary. And I didn't want to do that. How far back am I? I'm back there? Ugh. You gotta be kidding me. Once again, the game's like, oh, a checkpoint. What's a checkpoint? Really could have used one near the end of the stage game. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's no big deal. I can get through there. It's just... why? And big one. Okay. Had to think about it there for a second. Again, I can kind of get through this, but... how far is too far back? You know? Okay, that really wasn't as far back as I thought it would be, but it's still annoying. I mean, come on. Also, yeah, you want to do this on a big bubble, because if you do this too close to the edge... yeah, I might as well mention that now that I'm back here. And for a second, I thought that there was a ladder up there above the first waterfall, but apparently that was not the case. Would have been cool, though. Alright. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, if you're a little unsure of yourself, wait for the suck and then the blow of the fan. and then go in there and do your fully charged shot there, and you should be able to make it okay, I think. And yeah, you're just gonna wait there and be like that. Okay. Also, I thought the Mega Arm would get that for me, but I was not lined up with that, and I accidentally touched the mic. Okay, Mars. MA, Photon Missile. You'll want that equipped against Venus. Venus is gonna move forward there a little bit. The closer you are to him, when you fire this off, the better. I mean, he will jump when you fire it, and he can also move towards you, and as he does, he will fire bubble bombs that will be suspended in the air for a while before they explode. Also, the way that he slowly advances towards you kind of feels like the stuff of nightmares unintentionally. And it's pretty unsettling. Like, it seems really aggressive and unsettling. And for beating Venus, we get the bubble bomb. It travels upwards in a sine wave pattern, and in case it hits the ceiling, it travels forward. Also, we get Rush Coil. It works most like it does in just about every other game we've had it in. You summon Rush, you jump on him, you bounce off really high, and you go high places. And here is the password, which I'm going to leave on screen for a little while longer. There we go. And how am I doing on P-chips? I'm going to wait a little while longer for getting the Clobber Hand, because I want to get that next. But for beating the first 4 star droids, we get to face Terra again. We get a 5th stage where we meet Terra again. How is that going to go? Join me next time and find out. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!